Okay, so we've got the well-known sound of a fan running with no compressor. Blower's running inside. Customer complaint is no cooling. Experienced technician will grab suction line, liquid line. They're equal. We're not blowing warm air out. So I'm going to pull open the corner panel and see if I can find what I think I'm going to find. You first. Uh-oh, doing the thing I always tell everybody not to do, and using my impact Malco. That's what I had handy. Alright, so let's see if we got what I think we got. Wow, we don't have the obvious bloated capacitor. Contactor's a little pitted. Nothing super serious here. I always look for anything abnormal, any poor connections before I jump to any conclusions. Down inside, make sure we don't have anything weird. I don't like that zip tie broken there because that acts as kind of a standoff on that discharge line. If those wires start rubbing across that discharge line, you can see them there. Go blow a hole in it quickly. And that's something I'm definitely going to mention to the customer. These low voltage wires are also well known for rubbing out. You can see there on the side of the metal there. So those are all things I'll clean up while I'm here. There's a resistor, but let's be realistic. What do we do in the field? We just kind of go like that to make sure that we don't have anything to discharge, because as long as it's connected to the compressor windings, you're not going to be holding a charge in this anyway. It's a pretty rare circumstance that you're going to shut the power off, confirm that it's off, which I've already done, and have potential still on your capacitor. But it's just a good idea to just make sure pretty quick. And the worst that'll happen is you'll get a little arc. If you don't know your system pretty well, you want to take a picture of where your wires are connected beforehand just to be safe. We have a 45 by 5, plus or minus 6%. That's from the factory. So it's not like I'm going to tell somebody that their capacitor's bad if it's at 6%. I usually use plus or minus 10. It's 440 volt, which means that we can't use a 370 volt capacitor to replace it. You can replace a 370 with a 440 though. Let's go ahead and get a reading and see what we got. I got this little inexpensive multimeter, which isn't the best in the world, but I took my nicer one and I realized that the batteries are dead on it. So I figured, well, let's give this one a try anyway. I've been wanting to try this out. And we're gonna put it on the combined scale here. It does ohms, it also does diode test and capacitance. So we're gonna set it into the capacitance scale. There we go. And it should auto range to microfarads. Look it up here so you can see it. Now, another kind of neat thing, if you have a hard time seeing, often you'll find that the common terminal is the one with 4. The HERM for the compressor will have 3. This goes to the start winding on the compressor, and the fan will have 1 terminal. But we're going to measure on the compressor first because that's what wasn't running. Sure enough, you can see we're not measuring anything. Go from on the fan now, test the fan, common to fan, and we have 2.83, so that's also low. The compressor capacitor's completely failed and the fan capacitor's just low. Often you'll find when a fan capacitor's failed, sometimes the fan will still run, it'll just run slow or in the wrong direction because it's very low torque, whereas the compressor won't run at all. It'll just, you'll hear it go in and out of thermal overload. So there's a couple things I want to do on this one, but this is the main thing. We got to call the customer and quote them. And I'm actually going to replace this with an AMRAD because that's what I got on the truck right now. It's a really good replacement capacitor. Okay, so this is an AMRAD American Radionics 5-year capacitor. It's what I had on the truck, and it's nice because it solves a lot of different capacitors and they get a really good quality capacitor. It's saying to connect between the highest rating. So that's also nice because it comes with a marker so you can mark the date that it was installed. It comes with some extra zip ties, as well as the connecting wires. All nice features to have. So since this is a 45.5, we're going to take the 25 and the 20. We're going to connect those together with one of these jumper wires here. And then we're going to connect our wire that normally would go to HERM. It goes to the start winding or start terminal on the compressor. We're going to connect it here. And then we're just going to use this 5 here as our condensing fan motor terminal. Now, it's always a good practice before you install a new capacitor to just check it real quick. So we're going to check our condensing fan motor capacitor, measuring 5.1 there. second, 5.5. So we're good there. And then we're going to check our 25. Okay, good there. And our 20, which cumulatively will give us 45 as we're wiring them in parallel. And I'll show you that measurement here in a second. One thing that's really big whenever you're connecting a terminal, make sure it's on really, really snug, spade. So now if we measure from our 25, now you can see we've got 46. So within our rated spec. So we're going to be connecting perm here, common here, fan here. Sometimes these factory straps, they don't fit right, and so using a little bit of plumber strap cut to length works great and holds it nice and steady. That's what we're using. If you're ever going to drill a new hole though, make sure that you don't have coil behind where you're going to drill, just to be on the safe side. And in this case, we're safe. We've got our wire that goes to our start winding here, so we're going to connect that to our higher measurement, which is our 25. We have our common here, and then we have our fan, which is going to go to our 5. Whenever I put these on, I just always make sure they're really snug. When in doubt, you can just put a little crimp on them with needle nose. Suspect right there, so we definitely want to tighten that down a little better. Once it gets all said and done, we will check the amperage and just test out the entire piece of equipment, but that's not what this is about. This is about wiring up a capacitor, and that's how you do it. That's how you diagnose and wire up a capacitor. Thanks for watching.